Back, everybody. We're back with Sports Talk with Attitude, episode 18. This episode is brought to you by Taz Inc., T-A-Z Inc., providing life insurance for all ages. Licensed in the state of Georgia. To get a quote, contact Mr. Ralph Booker on 770-634-0631.
That's the one.
Yes, sir.
So I put a few things out there over the last couple of days, some top 5 lists.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, you did. And I was a little slow on one. I got a little busy. But
no, you good.
You got to correct me on one of them. In reference to, I think I answered the one about the point guards, and I listed Kobe.
Yeah.
Point guard.
Right.
I'd like to change that to Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete Maverick. Yeah. Pistol Pete was a bad man.
I had a conversation today about with Pistol Pete's one of Pistol
about
Pete's
who?
best friends. About Pistol Pete with Pistol Pete's one of Pistol Pete's best friends. We had a conversation this morning, so I want to change my top 5 to Pistol Pete since I know somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah, well,
is that right?
I would not argue about that with Pistol Pete. He was a point guard, much more of probably a scoring guard, not a shooting guard as such. But yeah, I wouldn't have any pushback with Pistol Pete. Pistol Pete was a bad man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. See, a lot of these guys, they're not old enough to remember Pistol Pete.
Yeah.
He was a little bit before my time, but Pistol Pete was a bad man.
What's that, back in the 70s?
Oh, that brother there,
80s?
He had it all. I mean,
Yes,
he could
sir.
handle the rock. He had the ball on the string. He could score, shoot. What up, Mo?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Morning.
Yeah, we're talking about Pistol Pete Maravich.
Pistol Pete, that's a bad man.
He was a bad man back then.
He died on the court playing a pickup game. Hey, sorry, man. Wednesday. Yeah, I was tied up, man.
Oh, that's okay.
Just got here late now. I'm sorry. I apologize for being late.
Bro, your job got to come first, bro.
Yeah, I know. I knew you would understand.
All right.
Yeah, no question.
So we were talking about the top 5 pick that Ralph had sent out.
Right, I sent out some top 5 questions.
Yeah, I gave you my top 5 point guards. Then I think I gave my shooting guards also.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
let's start on that one.
Let me go back and take a look at that. I remember you did send some stuff out there, Mo.
Yes, sir.
And,
Hey, Ralph, I agree with you. The first 2, I believe we have the same thing. The first 1 and 2. And
yeah, Magic and Isaiah.
Yeah.
Then you have Iverson and Steph and Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And
I got Chris Paul rounding out my 5.
Yes. And the only difference I have in yours is that I have John Stockton in there more than I do Iverson.
Mm.
Not that Iverson wasn't a bad man. That's not the question. In my mind, Iverson, I got much love and respect for AI. No question about that. But he was more of a combination guard, like Pistol Pete, more of a shooting point guard.
Yeah.
When I was asking about point guard, I was looking at the traditional point guard that look to do more distributing than they do shooting.
Yeah. Oh man. Hold on.
But again, as I said, I don't have no pushback with AI whatsoever. Yeah, he's a bad man.
Oh, I gotta step away. I'll be right back.
Okay. And so Curtis, you sent Magic, Isaiah, Kobe, Iverson, and Steph Curry. So if you take Kobe out, you would put in Pistol Pete right there, right?
Pistol Pete right there. And
okay.
Then add Pistol Pete.
I don't have no pushback with that.
I mean,
I'm telling you, Pistol Pete was that dude. He used a lot of brothers up. I'm telling you, there's a whole bunch of brothers that couldn't do that with Pistol Pete, boy. So it's a different game nowadays than it was at that time, and so things are a lot bit different.
Oh yeah, just a tad bit different on that one. Oh yeah,
right. But I don't have any pushback with Pistol Pete. as I said, I don't have any pushback with Allen Iverson either. But I know John Stockton is a bad man too. You look at John Stockton's numbers, and he got over 10,000. I tell you somebody else that you may not think about, Mark Jackson, that we hear commentating. Mark Jackson got over 10. He got over 10,000 assists.
Really?
Yeah.
Johnson.
Yeah, Mark Jackson. Hey,
Jackson.
Yeah, Mark Jackson could play. He's not considered one of those, because he didn't score a lot. But let me just tell you, you look at what he did while he was in the league for the length of time that he played, the teams he played on. Mark Jackson, I'm sure I definitely have Mark Jackson in the top 10 point guards of all time.
I have Mo Cheeks in there too.
I'd have to look at Cheeks' numbers. Yeah, Mo Cheeks could play, no question about it. So then so we had that. And if you guys were going to look at centers, top 5 centers, who would you? Should I give you my 5?
Oh yeah.
So my 5 is Kareem, Shaq, Wilt, Moses Malone, and Akeem Olajuwon.
Yeah, I add.
Yeah, I agree with everybody there. Yeah,
I can say Akeem, David Robinson.
Well, not Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, who would you take off? Who
you gonna take? I'll say he's in the top 10, but those top 5 right there. Yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain.
I got him number. Yeah, Wilt is in there.
Who I say?
What about Shaq?
I have Shaq number 4 and possibly Malone.
Who?
Okay.
Moses Malone.
Okay.
What about Akeem? You didn't put you took David Robinson out over Akeem?
No, I had Davidson Robinson in there.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But you didn't have Akeem.
Oh, who I say? I said
he didn't have Kareem.
It's pretty hard.
No, you guys are trying to tell me one of my top 5 is a top 10.
No, I'm not telling
you about my top 5.
No, your top. That's what I'm saying.
Robinson.
You had Kareem, you had Wilt, you had Shaq, you had Moses, and you had David Robinson. You don't have Akeem.
Okay, so I don't have Akeem.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I got the dream. I got the dream. Dream is mine.
Oh yeah. The dream.
Dream is number 3 to me. Yeah, you got to have the dream.
Yeah, you guys probably a little too young to remember Wilt, because I'm a little too. I don't remember Wilt in his heyday.
I haven't seen his heyday, but I know who Wilt is. I checked seen his games and stuff.
Wilt was Wilt was a bad man. Wilt played for the Globetrotters. He used to handle the ball, come up the floor, handling the rock and everything.
Yeah, Wilt's name is synonymous with when it comes to basketball.
Yeah, so that's why I say. So, but you put in Kareem, Wilt, Shaq, Moses, and Akeem.
Right. And interesting that you mentioned that about Wilt playing for the Harlem Globetrotters. What do you think about them becoming a franchise? The Harlem Globetrotters becoming a franchise?
Yeah, I don't think that'll work.
You don't think that'll work?
Nah.
You don't think there's enough great? I think they could. There's a lot of people that you see on these YouTubes and these other channels where these guys they can really handle the ball and shoot. I think
But can you do it in a team setting with people playing defense on you, referees out there calling stuff? Because you got to play defense too.
Well, calling the right stuff, because you get you get away a lot of stuff too, because it's a show. It's all for show.
Well, you get away a lot of stuff in the NBA too. There's a lot of traveling going on. They called traveling last night on Lopez, but you don't see a whole lot of traveling calls going on. You see
you take
5 steps. How many steps can you get for
that's travel?
What's that? What'd you say?
I was saying,
you got your thumb, Mo. Move your thumb, Mo.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I said, if you got 6, 7 steps in the paint, that's traveling.
Well, yeah. You got, how many steps can you take? 3? 4 steps is traveling, right?
No,
After
3
that,
steps is
travel.
traveling.
Right. You see 4 steps quite often.
You get a step,
The
you get a step
superstars.
and a half once you pick the ball up.
There you go.
Right.
But
But
that
they
ain't
call
that new. I mean, Julius Irving used to get those same steps.
Magic
Magic
did all the
Johnson used to
time.
get
Magic
those
travel
same
all the
steps.
time. Then it came with
But
that Euro step.
Julius did too, though.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. You see a lot of them who get
So
those
that's
steps.
what I'm saying. So if everybody's doing it, it's the same for everybody. So that doesn't change. But the Globetrotters, I don't know if they would be a serious franchise, because now you got to take it out of just the entertainment realm and put it into how can we go and beat somebody else realm. Not because somebody gonna play defense. You know, the Washington Generals, they don't play no defense against the Globetrotters. They just out there having fun. They getting paid too.
Right. So you
But
don't
in
think
the
they could
NBA,
take those? So you don't think that they could take the entertainment factor and add it? Because those are skills. It's not like they don't have the dribbling and shooting skills.
If those skills, but those skills have to be they have to be confined within the structure of a real NBA game. What they're doing on the Harlem Globetrotters, that's not a constructive NBA type ball game.
Right, but you don't think you could take those skills and format into whatever the rules and regulations and the guidelines and turn those skills into a factor to win games and be a viable force out there on the court? You don't think that's possible?
I think the skills certainly can be, you can use the skills, but right. But to then put together a cohesive team with those players, that's what I'm talking about. Being a cohesive team is different than individual skill sets and things of that nature.
Gotcha.
So somewhere in there, you would have to take that skill set of all those players and now put them in a position of that, okay, some of that craziness that you was doing as a Globetrotter, you can't do with the real game coming on. So can they perform to win games without having to do without all that other stuff?
So it's not a good idea to franchise a Globetrotter.
I don't. Now, if you can get you another if there's a franchise that wants to be a part of the league and the league is willing to accept, that's one thing. But if you're going to come in as the Globetrotters and try to use the Globetrotters as your basics behind your ball club, I don't think that would work.
Okay.
And again, that's only because you got to build a cohesive team.
Right.
With all the travel, the ups and the downs, the practices, the injuries, the back and the forth, the defense. Because when the Globetrotters play, ain't no defense being played out there.
Ain't no defense being played at all. None.
That's for fun.
But they're making what I don't know what the percentage is. I should look it up, but you just happened to mention, and I had that in the back of my mind about the Globetrotters and the franchise, about the percentage of shots that they make. They're making a high percentage of shots also.
With no defense.
With no defense, right. So you get somebody who's a big defensive guy. You put somebody like that on them.
Yeah, you put a Kawhi Leonard out there, you put a LeBron James, you put a Kevin Durant who plays good defense inside. I mean, there are a lot of guys that do. So now
LeBron plays defense?
Well, yeah. When you make the all defensive team, baby, that's not the sports writers that vote that. That's the coaches that vote that. These are the people that watch the game, that know the game. They're not sports writers.
Okay.
So I mean, not that they couldn't be a franchise, but could they win on a consistent basis? They have to get some serious ball players in there to do that.
Or just have them as a franchise where they're not competing in the NBA, but turn into a franchise, and all these people you see out on these courts being all fancy, sign them to some type of contract to go play in different arenas for entertainment.
Well, yeah, they're doing that now. So, but in terms of putting them in the league and they have a regular schedule, 82 games, you got to be in and out. You're flying into different cities. You're playing back-to-backs. You're doing this. Globetrotters, they're not doing that.
They're not doing that. They're not making that much money to be able to pay players like that, to travel, to be everywhere, to have a heavy schedule like that.
That's right.
What happened to Atlanta yesterday?
Milwaukee. I mean, now, do I expect Atlanta to win tomorrow night back at home? I do. I expect it to be a 7th game next week.
So it's going 7. Okay.
I definitely think Atlanta gonna come back home. I think they're gonna win at home Saturday night.
They should have took a full advantage of Giannis not being there like they did when he got hurt.
But Trey wasn't there either, though. You didn't have
He
Trey.
wasn't there when they beat him.
Oh, I know, but so they both the stars were out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but they beat Milwaukee without Trey.
Right, but they didn't have Giannis in the second half, and they were making the comeback when he got hurt.
I know what I'm saying, but
they were playing. Remember, they was playing at home, and they was playing with all the energy of. That's why I say when they come back home, I think they'll win back at home.
Yeah, the Clippers thought that too, and they got spanked up at home.
Yeah, but this is different because Atlanta has won at home. They've run on the road. You know.
I would like to see him win and go 7 games. I'd like to see a 7 game.
Well,
but how hurt is Giannis? Is he going to be able to play?
I don't think he's going to play when they come back to Atlanta. They're going to hold him out to see if he can continue to get well. So if there is a 7th game, to try to have him ready for game 7. But when did you see his injury? Man, when you bend your knee, when you bend your knee back the wrong way, man, that's painful.
Yeah, but regardless, whoever wins out that series, Phoenix has home court advantage.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they were completely healthy, the way Phoenix is playing right now, I think Phoenix would win it. Because right now they're the only real fully healthy team
left. Yeah,
that's it. The only one left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so for a while it looked like it was going to be 2 healthy teams. Maybe Milwaukee, who hadn't had any injuries, and Phoenix. Well, now Milwaukee's got an injury. Phoenix is the last man standing with no major injuries.
And Phoenix had the first player get hurt when Chris Paul got hurt in the first round.
Yeah, but he just missed a couple of games with his shoulder. He wasn't out. It wasn't like a knee or ankle where you gotta have those wheels on the foot.
Yeah. Like Kawhi or somebody else, or boy from the Lakers got hurt.
Yeah, and even from the Nets, Kyrie, he turned his ankle. Did you see when he turned his ankle over?
Yeah,
that thing went all the way sideways.
Yep, all the way. I thought he broke it.
Yeah, I've done that. That is so painful. That's worse. That's worse than a break.
Yeah, because it takes longer for it to heal.
Yeah, that's right.
That's tendons and muscles, all that getting stretched out.
That's why he didn't play no more. Because those tendons and things like that, man. And that's why Trey, I don't know if Trey's going to play tomorrow night. I think he is, but man, he didn't look good last night when he was trying to warm up before the game.
Yeah. I wouldn't play him. You take a chance of hurting him even more.
Yeah. Well, he's a young cat, 22 years old, and he got 1 game left. He win 2 games that, unless they win the next 2 games. So he can rest this summer. He'll get well. He got some ligaments in there. Those ligaments they'll heal on a young cat. Now that with me, it'd be next summer before I'm ready to play. He may be ready to play in a couple 3 weeks. He'd be back out there.
Oh, my neck's got cramp.
Yeah, can't be having. Man, you got to get on that grill. I don't want to hear no excuses about you not getting on the grill. Talking about my neck.
I'm on the grill tonight and tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah, my daughter came in from Detroit. She's spending the summer with me, so I have both my daughters at the house now. So,
how old is your daughter?
16.
Okay, good. So, can we talk about another top 5?
What we talk? We did the point, the shooting, power forwards.
I was going to go small forward, but we can go power forward.
The number 1 power forward to me is Karl Malone.
Okay.
Or either him or Timmy Duncan.
There you go. I was just going to ask you about Timmy Duncan with his
Him or
5
Timmy
championships.
Duncan. Either one of them, either one of them be my number 1 and 2 right there.
Well,
Then behind that, I'd have a boy from Anthony Mason.
Anthony Mason.
I like Anthony Mason. He was good.
I know you like him, but we talking about the greatest of all time, bro. Come on. You know Anthony Mason
was Worthy a power forward or a forward?
He plays small forward for the most part, but he played both. But don't forget about big shoulders. Kevin McHale, I put him up against anybody.
Yeah, Kevin. Okay.
Kevin McHale, I don't care what nobody say. Kevin McHale was a bad man down in that paint, boy. What? In his prime, Kevin McHale could play with anybody. What do you think?
So there's 3. What other 2?
In terms of power forward, there's certainly a case to be made for James Worthy, but at the power forward, there's a case to be made for Charles Barkley.
Okay. What about Bernard King? What position did he play? Was it power forward?
He plays small forward.
So that brother right there was straight the truth right there.
Oh, he could definitely score.
Bernard King was a oof.
Yeah. So
you put Barkley in power forward? Okay.
Yeah, he's power forward.
What about Oakley?
Charles Oakley, he played power forward. But when you start talking about him now, you're gonna have to pull out some numbers and see some of those guys that were tough and they played tough in those days. But when you start talking about all the players of all time at that position, that's tough. Because see, there's another guy that I know you're not thinking about that in my mind, I know he's from Texas, but Elvin Hayes.
Oh.
See, people don't think about Elvin Hayes.
I wasn't.
I'm telling you. Elvin Hayes, you go look at his numbers. Elvin Hayes put up over 25,000 points, baby. I'm telling you, there's some players back in the day that they don't think about today because the game is different and we didn't have social media and all that kind of stuff like that. But between James Worthy, Charles Barkley, I think you're right. The mailman, Timmy Duncan, those guys certainly in the top 5 in my mind, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you look at small forwards, which is the other side.
So you put Worthy.
I would probably put Worthy on the power forward side, I guess. He really played more small forward than he did power forward.
Yeah.
So who is your number 1 small forward of all time?
Small forward of all time. I like Bernard King, bro. I just like Bernard King. Because that brother would get it. He get it, boy. But for that pothole, he'd be a whole different thing.
Well, right now, my number 1 small forward has to be LeBron James.
I was going to say, how could it not be LeBron James?
I'm going to say LeBron,
he's a small forward.
That's his natural position, a small forward.
He's number 1 man in the NBA. He can't be nothing else but number 1 small forward.
He's got to be.
He got to be.
Yeah.
Then who would be number 2?
Bernard King.
Would you take Bernard King over Larry Bird?
Bernard King. You take Bernard King. You take Bernard King over Kevin Durant.
I take Bernard King over Larry Bird.
I love Bernard King.
You would take Bernard King. You take
Bernard King over Larry Bird.
Larry Bird every day.
You take Bernard King over. How about over Kevin Durant?
Durant is no. Durant. Well,
he's a small forward.
He's a small forward now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I take Durant over Bernard King.
How about Dr. J?
Jay would go. I still take Bernard King over Jay.
No.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. And Jay's my idol.
Man, so where in the world would you put Larry Bird? 3-time MVP, 3 championship rings. Where would you put Larry Bird?
He probably be my 6th power forward.
I guarantee you, there's not 6 small forwards better than Larry Bird. What?
How about Dominique?
I'm not a Bird fan. Let me just tell you, I'm a basketball fan.
Right.
You cannot deny Larry Bird. He gets much respect from me because
Can't deny Larry Bird.
I'm not saying he was bad, but
what did Bernard King do that Bird didn't do?
Who's Bernard King again?
See?
Wait a minute, hold on. Don't disrespect my man like that.
But can I tell you some things that Bird did that he didn't do? Bernard King did not do?
Led the league in scoring.
Bird got championships.
He got championships. He got MVP. He got MVP.
All right. You gonna put on like that?
Yeah, corner 3-pointers.
You're right.
No, we're not saying that Bernard wasn't a bad man. Don't get me wrong. Love him, respect him. But when you start talking about top 5 of all time,
Dominique Wilkins.
No, Dominic ain't in there. He's not in there.
He's not in my top 5, but
he's not in top 5.
Up there. So
Nick is good, but he's not top 5.
Okay.
Well, there's some people that would have him in top 5. I just,
right.
For me,
but he can't beat any of the ones you put on me because you may take mine off the board. Had to rethink my thought.
I'm not telling you to take yours off. I was just trying to share. I was just trying to compare the careers.
Especially when you didn't say
LeBron,
KD and LeBron.
Yeah. I had to get some new information. You know what I'm saying?
KD, LeBron, Larry Bird. Those are. I mean, that's about good. That's I tell you.
Barkley was small forward, but you know.
Yeah, but he actually played power forward.
He played both.
Yeah.
Mm.
But so that's pretty interesting as you think about small forward. So I got a question for you in the small forward realm. Where does top 50 of all time, Scottie Pippen? Where does he fit?
Man, Pippen need to shut his mouth, man. He's talking too much stuff right now.
Why?
I think he bitter. He bitter right now.
It's okay to be bitter, but look at his career. Does he not have the ability to talk about? He won 6 championships.
Listen. What Pippen is doing right now, he's bad mouthing his coach. He bad mouthing players. Just be cool, man.
So let me ask you a question, Mo.
So he's not allowed to speak about what happened in the past. I know he's trying to sell a book. He's trying to sell a book, right?
Yeah, that's part of it.
He's trying to sell a book. So he's trying to.
Can he not tell? Yeah, can he not tell the truth from where he sits and how he saw it?
Exactly.
Because it ain't like he's a poop butt.
Right.
Pippen was legitimate.
When he said what he said about Durant wasn't the man, and Durant came back and capped on him and said, "Well, look here, didn't you refuse to go back in the game when your coach you were playing for a better shooter than you?" So, he was a little bitter about that.
But keep in mind, that was only one time in his whole career that happened.
One time.
So we're putting everything. One time in his whole career, 6 championship rings and all that other winning and stuff. Everybody brings up that one time.
The one time.
It only takes one.
You have not heard
nothing. It takes more than one. No, it takes more than one.
Pippen all these years. He says one thing.
Yeah, it takes more than one thing for me. One thing in my whole career to happen that you're going to define my whole career by one incident. What about the 6 championship rings?
He got those.
Right.
But we're talking about one time he didn't go in the game as opposed to the 6 times that he won the championship. He guarded the top player on the other team, small forward, guard, all the time.
And he's been there to where he could talk.
That's all I'm saying.
And like you said, from his point of view, from where he stands.
That's it. And I ain't saying that he's right. I'm just saying that I think he has the right to say it.
Where do you rank Scottie Pippen at in your forward position?
In the small forward position, Scottie Pippen is in my top 10.
10?
I said he's in my top 10.
Yeah, okay. That's what I'm saying. I give him 10,
Yeah, he in the top 10.
Yeah.
I have to go back through and look at some other, look at more names and stuff like that.
Like Kawhi Leonard,
just like your boy, Bernard King, he'd be in the top 10.
Ralph, just like kind of like Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
I mean, where's he fall?
See, Kawhi Leonard,
Andre?
small forward. Kawhi Leonard got to be in my. I think he's a top 5 player
How about
in that
Andre?
position.
Because
How about
Kawhi
Andre?
went to 2 different teams and got championships.
How about Andre Iguodala?
Oh, come on,
Iguodala,
man. Get out. No.
Iguodala.
No. How did
No.
he come in? How'd you fix your mouth to say that?
He's not a top nothing, right?
No.
No.
No, he's not even making. He ain't gonna even make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Dominique over him.
Oh yeah. Dominique's the top 5. I mean, top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dominique is certainly in the top 10. But you have to kind of think back through some of those names to really pull them out, because there are a lot of names that we're probably overlooking because today this is fresh on our minds, today.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can deny Kevin Durant, Larry Bird, LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron James is the number 1 small forward to me of all time. Over everybody.
LeBron played. He like Magic. He played from 1 to 5.
Yeah, he does, but his position, he's not a point guard by position. Can he play the point guard? Yes, but that was not his regular position.
What position did Vince Carter play?
Vince Carter plays small forward and shooting guard.
So he's not anywhere in there?
He'll be a Hall of Famer. I was looking at Vince numbers this morning because he was on television.
Oh yeah.
Vince Carter got 25,000 points and over 6,600 rebounds.
Oh yeah, he originated jumping over somebody's head, the dunk.
So
he jumping over 7 quarters of dunk.
Yeah, Sergeant Carter he definitely one of the top guys of all time.
Yes, sir. He put a little performance in when he was here in Atlanta too, right?
Yeah, he did a little bit last couple of years,
Yeah, a little bit.
But because one of the names that I came up with, and I think he played more shooting guard than he did small forward, was Clyde Drexler.
Oh, Clyde is good. Ooh.
Yeah, Clyde played 2 and 3.
Clyde Clyde, baby.
He played more 2 than 3, I think, but
Yeah.
Clyde was a bad man.
Clyde was a bad man. That's where he got the glide from. He's the one who was taking 1-2 steps from way down south.
You say what you want to say.
Portland took Clyde over Jordan. No one knew.
Over what?
I said Portland pulled Clyde over Jordan. No one knew Jordan was going to be who Jordan was.
No, that was the year that they drafted the King. Clyde was already there. That's why they didn't draft Jordan, because when they that year that Michael came out, Clyde was already at Portland, and so Portland went with that's why they went with the big man Sam Bowie.
Sam Bowie didn't pan out.
I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
What about the Olympic basketball team?
I don't even know who's all on the Olympic team.
I know straight out of DC was talking about who's on the Olympic team
Oh, this year?
this year.
Yeah, there's some players on there. Durant, I think, is going to play this year.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Middleton from Milwaukee is going to play on the team this year. Let's see. I'm not sure. Did Steph decide if he was going to play?
I'm not exactly sure.
I don't have no idea who's on the team.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me, but we're going to have a good team. They still should win the Olympics. The one thing about it is the rest of the world is getting better because there are a lot of players from all over the world that's playing in the NBA now too. So it's going to be some good teams.
I remember we were talking about what place they were going to come, what place they was going to come into.
I think,
and somebody was saying that they wouldn't get a bronze, or
I think most said that they might not get a bronze.
Yeah, I think I got that written down.
Who? What?
Did you mention something about the U.S. wouldn't get a bronze this year in the Olympics?
No,
Basketball?
I said they go for the gold.
Somebody said that, maybe that was straight out of DC, said that
Yeah, I said they're going for the gold.
they were going to come in third place.
Yeah, third. No, that's right. He did say third place, and I'm not saying third place at all.
They getting gold, man. They're getting the gold.
So how's that work? They just,
They do. We got the gold. Because we got all the scoring. Right? Ain't Harden on the team too?
So who's
I'm
all,
not sure.
yeah, who's all on the team for the
I think we got
Well,
like 3 of the top scorers in the league on the
Well, the
game.
thing about it is that we got a lot of guys that's injured right now, and the Olympics start in 4 weeks. So I'm not sure exactly who's all there.
Yeah, I don't either. I know we got scores on that team. That
Yeah,
can go.
well, you got Kevin Durant. I think you got Steph Curry. You definitely got Chris Middleton.
I think Harden's on that team, if I'm not mistaken.
He might be. He might be. Yeah, you know, there's some other guys. You'd have to pull up the Olympic basketball team to see what those names are. I could then tell you.
I think they got like 3 people from Milwaukee on the team, something like
they
that.
got Bam.
Right.
Who's that? Bam.
Bam Adebayo.
Yes, Bradley Beal.
Okay.
Or man, Book.
Yeah,
Devin
that's
Booker.
right.
Is Devin Booker on the team?
Yeah.
Devin Booker,
Hey,
Kevin
we
Durant.
good, bro.
We got Jeremy Grant,
I think Chris Paul.
Draymond,
Now Chris Paul ain't gone.
Draymond Green,
Yeah.
Drew Holiday,
Yes.
Zach Levine, Lillard. All day,
Dame,
baby.
yeah, that's right. Dame Dollar's playing.
Dame Dollar.
We got
all
plenty of
day, baby.
offense.
Kevin Love, Middleton, Jason Tatum.
There you go.
Yeah, we ain't no way we shouldn't win the gold.
Hey, that sounds like a goal to me.
Oh yeah, we got Kerr.
Yeah.
Kerr going to be coaching.
Who's coaching?
Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
For the assistant
Is
coach.
Harden on the team? Is Harden on the team?
No mention of Harden.
No.
Okay. It was Damon I was thinking of then. Yeah, we locked in, bro.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good squad right there.
Oh. Yeah, if you got Dame Dollar shooting from way shooting, you got Kevin Durant, you got Booker, you got Middleton. We're gonna have plenty of offense.
You got
we
Holiday, Dame Dollar, Booker, Durant.
Who gonna play defense though and rebound?
Nobody.
Hey, then the big boy from Milwaukee on the team. What's his name? The center.
Oh,
Didn't he make the team?
no, you're talking about the big twin.
Yeah,
He might have made it. Seemed like
Yeah, I
we
think
had
he's
3
because they got 3 people from Milwaukee on the Olympic team.
Lopez.
Lopez. And you got Bam. Bam gonna play some defense.
Yeah, and get some rebounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Lopez, last night in the game, Lopez, he was a force to be reckoned with. Getting back to,
He was a beast.
they're tied up 2-2 now. Trey was out, but Lopez put on a show. He came alive.
It's 3-2 now.
He played like a
Yeah.
3-2.
Yeah.
He played like a true big man last night.
That's what you said.
Between
before they
alley
played
oop, the
you play.
dunks, the blocks, the scoring, he was amazing. That really hurt the Hawks last night.
Oh yeah. Well, he's a 7-1 guy.
Yes.
And the Hawks just hadn't been. I mean, Milwaukee's coach is really, he's kind of different to me because he don't have no kind of rhyme or reason sometimes to his lineup.
Hey, he's trying to keep his job, bro.
Well, yeah, they're trying to keep his job, but the thing is that if you had some better lineups, it might be easier for you to do that.
Yeah.
So, who are you talking about?
So if Atlanta wins this series, he's gonna be out of a job.
Oh, he's done. He's done.
Well, yeah.
You see him
he
on the
got some-
freeway working for food.
Yeah, he got some great performance out of Holiday. Holiday really put on a good show last night too.
Yeah.
I think he was
Well,
in there.
they needed to step up because Giannis wasn't going to be there, so they needed to step up.
Yeah, he scored 20-something, but his assists and passing, ball control, moving up and down the court, Holiday was another force to be reckoned with. And I think Atlanta, it didn't seem like for the Hawks anybody really stepped up to be that superstar last night.
Well,
Everybody was playing something, but it seemed like they looked like they were playing kind of flat. They looked
Your boy
like
Collins
you
couldn't
had the
find the
energy.
basket.
Galarraga hit a few shots.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they hit
know
a few
it.
shots, but it was they missed a lot of threes. They were coming down third and fourth quarters, and they were missing a lot of threes. and they weren't getting that many rebounds. And did you notice, if you guys saw the game or not, but Collins, I have a feeling that he's not going to be in the game. I don't think he's going to play tomorrow.
Why?
I think he's going to be out. It looked like he twisted that knee. I think he's hurt. Is it
John Collins?
I'm sorry, say it again.
You said John Collins?
Yes, sir.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep, because when they were walking I was watching when they were walking back to the dressing room after the game, he was trying not to, but he was limping. And there was one play that he failed. He got hurt. It looked like he twisted his knee because they mentioned it briefly. So I have a feeling Trey's going to have to play in pain. He's going to have to come in. And I have a feeling either Collins is going to show up and not be able to perform. He's going to show up or be taken out of the game. But I think they're going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Well, they gonna have some struggles. Now, if Giannis doesn't play here in Atlanta tomorrow night, I think the Hawks should win.
Well, hopefully they Herter needs to step up. He didn't do all that great. He scored a couple points, but I thought he was really going to step up and take the lead for the game, for the team. You know, he scored a couple.
Well, that's not his number one job. That was Lou Williams. Lou Williams played pretty well, you know. But it's one of those situations. Milwaukee was back at home.
Yes.
And they're gonna give you all that they got because their number one guy is not there. So if Atlanta pull that out, that's great. But you know Milwaukee was gonna come with everything. That's what I think is gonna happen tomorrow night.
Yeah,
they get back here, whether Trey plays or not, the rest of the team is gonna be pumped up and ready to go and win at home.
Home game, yes. Yeah, but Milwaukee, they were fired up at home, like you just said.
Hey, you either win or stay home. That's it. That's tomorrow.
They were fired up. So yeah, Hawks have to. They got to come up with some kind of matchup tomorrow. They got to come up with some kind of magic. Everybody's gonna have to play. They're gonna have to play as hard as they did.
Well, yeah. That's what, but I fully expect Atlanta to be prepared and ready to go. I think they will win tomorrow night.
Hey, I like Nate McMillan. I like the coach.
Yeah, he's a good coach. He's a good coach. And you can see they fired Nate McMillan from Indiana last year.
Yeah.
And then the coach that they hired only lasted 1 year.
Yeah, done.
And look what Nate is doing with his team. I bet you they wish they still had Nate.
Oh, yeah. But sometimes that combination just doesn't work out.
That's true.
Sometimes you're better off someplace else.
No doubt. Yeah. And you know Nate gonna get the job here. So he said, hey, I ain't worried about Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Indiana got a new coach, and they got a good coach from Dallas. But the guy that they picked over Nate, he didn't do nothing.
So how do you think they're going to be looking for the Hawks next year?
Oh, the Hawks will be fine. Nate going to be the coach. But they got to be ready. The problem they're going to have next year, the problem the Hawks is going to have is that everybody that play against them is going to bring their A game because they're going to say they was in the Eastern Conference Championship last year. This is a good team. So they're going to be coming at Atlanta with everything they got every night. So the Hawks got to be prepared to play tough every night.
They're going to have to with this year's performance this season.
That's right. Because everybody looking at them saying, "Oh, shucks, they got a good team. We got to get them." Mm-hmm. So they're gonna be pumped up to play against the Hawks next year.
Hey, what's going to happen to Philadelphia this summer?
Well,
I would say before we jump on Philly, if I'm not mistaken, Collins is this his last year with the Hawks?
Well, he's a free agent. I think he is a restricted free agent, meaning that he could get a contract offer from somebody else and the Hawks can match it. So he's not unrestricted, he's restricted.
There you go. So there's a chance of him going someplace else, somebody pay that money.
Right, but if the Hawks decide not to match it. So if he goes out and gets a big contract, the Hawks could match it and keep him, or they could say, that's too much. We ain't willing to pay you that much, and they could let him go.
And
did you see what
and hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah.
Speaking of contracts, Schroeder from the Lakers, talking about get 100 and 110 million.
Right. Well, they offered him 80 million, 85 million.
84, yeah, and he wasn't worth that. So where do you think he's gonna get 100 million from?
Well, he's worth the 84 million.
No, he wasn't.
Why?
He could. When you play if you play in a playoff game, you can't score 1 point, and you play the whole game, you ain't worth nothing. 1 point.
Yeah, but see, if you start talking about one game and you have to look at the whole performance of everybody in that game, that doesn't determine whether or not you're worth the money because you don't score in one game.
If I'm paying you $80 million, you better be scoring double figures every game.
Well, but there's a bunch of guys in the league that's got that ain't doing it. So that means you got to eliminate a bunch of guys from your league, Mo. There are guys in the league that's got $80 million contract that don't score a lot of points.
$84 million, you got to be worth $84 million. I'm not giving nobody $84 million.
Well, again, it depends on what the market will bear, bro. You can say that. That's easy to say. But when you start looking at who you're going to get in this place and what you're going to do in regard to that, even if you don't pay it, he don't care if Mo don't pay him. He's just trying to get paid. And $84 million on a 4-year contract for him, that's $21 million a year. That's very reasonable contract for a point guard.
That's what he should have jumped on, but he turned that down. He bet on himself.
I agree. But you're saying that he ain't worth that. And I'm telling you, he's worth at least that. He may not be worth 120 or 150, but 21 million for 4 years for a point guard of his caliber and his experience in the league, that's just normal pay.
Hey, he don't impress me.
I'm not saying he impressed you. I'm just telling you that's just normal pay.
That's
That's the way of the league. You know, so is Dame Dollar worth $50 million a year?
Dame worth his money. He getting his money.
I understand what you're saying, but he making more than LeBron. LeBron ain't making 50. LeBron making 35. So is Dame worth that much more?
Make that money, he can make that. That's just LeBron's contract. If he wanted to make that money,
that's all of them's contract. That's what I'm saying. That's just the contract. When your term come up, that's the contract that you get.
But look, Dame ain't making what LeBron's making on endorsements either.
But the contract ain't got nothing to do with endorsement. When you paying out there, but that ain't got nothing to do with the team. When the team is paying you, they don't pay for your endorsement. That's aside from what the team is paying you. So you can't bring that into the equation when you start talking about if my team is going to pay this amount of money. So if Schroeder was going to make 15 million, would you pay him 15 million?
Yeah, I give him 15.
Okay, and then what if he was able to go and get another 40 in endorsement? It ain't got nothing to do with you paying him 15, does it?
But I give him 15. I ain't gonna give him no 25.
I understand. Every GM has to look at it what's best for their financial structure within their organization and what that player going to bring to your team and to the bottom line. And if you say, hey, he ain't worth 25 to you, I understand that. There's another GM that's saying, he worth 25 to me. And Schroeder is saying, I don't care who give it to me. That's what I need. And once they sign it, it's guaranteed. So, you know, do I think he should have taken the 21, for 4 years from the Lakers? Probably. But him and his agent think that they can make a lot more going somewhere else. Sayonara. See you later.
Oh, well.
Yeah, no question.
Oh,
so, bros, let me just share this with you. I need to jump off just a little bit early here. I got to go make a couple runs. I've enjoyed it. I'm good to go. If we want to throw in an extra day somewhere, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to jump on. We could do it again.
Yep, we're going to shut it on down. I really appreciate everybody jumping on today. We appreciate everybody out there who's watching and the comments that were coming in on the live. We talked about the Olympics because we had one of our viewers wanted to talk about that a little bit. We want to thank everybody for hopping on. Again, you can find us on a couple of days after the YouTube live broadcast. You can find us on all platforms where you listen to your podcast. Dial in looking for the Power Hour with CP, and then look for Sports Talk with an Attitude. This has been 18 episodes. We have actually 18 episodes, so really happy about that. And again, to find my station notes, this episode, where is it at? if you want to, this episode has been brought to you by Taz Inc., providing life insurance for all ages, licensed in the state of Georgia. To get a quote, contact Mr. Ralph Booker on 770-634-0631. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to see you next time on Sports Talk with Attitude. Looking forward to seeing
Hey,
you.
have a safe weekend, fellas.